We good? Okay, Haley, thank you. Again, it is my pleasure to install the Niles Chamber of Commerce and Industry officers and directors for 2016. As I call your name, please come up. President Randy Greco, Collab. First Vice President Kyle Brown, Edward Jones. Second Vice President Jeff Curry, State Farm Insurance. Treasurer Chuck Hartog, C&M Auto Service. Immediate past president we know is Christine Nkota, but she's not here. Do I call the directors now too?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, directors, Kyle Burkar, Gulf Mill Shopping Center. Bill Griffiths, RCM Wealth Advisors. Dan Harrington, Brookdale Niles. Gene Jerzak, Stalwart Systems. Pat Knoll, Sure Incorporated. Denny Lingenfelter, First Merit Bank. Kevin Morris, Coca-Cola Refreshments. Tom Peckett's, Chasers Bar and Grill. And Christine Pusateri from Christine Pusateri Solutions. Additionally, Joanne Svilar, Quinar, I always do the Polish, Director Emeritus, and Dean Strelecki, Director Emeritus. So,
Can we get a front row going? Maybe one end so kind of get down a little bit. Thank you.
Can we move towards the podium too? We're going to go closer to Randy. Everyone move that way.
Yeah, I could go.
Yeah, keep moving that way. Closer to Randy.
Maybe more in the front row. So
okay, while we're doing that, I'm going to continue reading from the script. Ladies and gentlemen, the Niles Chamber of Commerce and Industry is organized for the purpose of advancing economic, industrial, professional, and cultural welfare of the Village of Niles, to encourage the growth of existing industries and retail businesses while giving all proper assistance to new firms or individuals seeking to locate in our community, to promote the welfare of all businesses following always those policies intended to accomplish the greatest good for the greatest number. And if we're ready to be sworn in, please raise your right hand for the oath of office. I, repeat your name, do solemnly swear that I will work and support the bylaws, objectives, and goals of the Niles Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and that I will faithfully discharge duties of my office to the best of my ability. That's your oath. You can lower your right hands. You're in. And I'm going to now, this symbolic gavel to Mr. Randy Greco, our president for 2016. Be careful with that. Congratulations. Is that all I have to do?
That's it.
Oh, okay. So now all I need is 8 minutes because I timed it. So, maybe 8.5. So good afternoon, everyone. As I said before, I'd like to thank the Niles Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event and thank everyone here today for it speaks to your commitment to our village, the Village of Niles, where it's possible here. That's our new tagline. The Village of Niles has a total budget of approximately $80 million. $40 million is for direct operations. In addition to the usual municipal departments of safety, meaning police and fire, public works, finance, community development, and general administration, Niles adds, and forgive me if you all know this, but I'll just put it out there, Niles adds the senior center, the fitness center, the teen center, family services, and of course the Niles free bus system. Currently, Niles has 266 full-time employees and a population of approximately 30,000 residents. 60% of our budget is derived from sales tax, with the remainder of funding coming from property tax and fees. The per capita property tax levy in Niles is $97. That's $97 per person, compared to $206 for Des Plaines residents and $480 per the Park Ridge resident. So I think that's pretty good anyway. This brings me to the question, how do we grow funding levels while under pressure to meet expanding costs? The costs that Niles has, which grow exponentially greater than revenues, are labor, contracts that grow 2 to 3% per year, pension underfunded liabilities of $36 million for fire and $41 million for police, infrastructure repair and replacement to a system that is in dire need of attention, and finally the $12 million Tier 1 flood abatement program. Our sales tax revenue, while exceedingly strong, is of concern. Niles has Costco, we've got 2 Walmarts, 2 Targets, 2 Home Depots, and several large shopping centers. There's not too many municipalities that have that. The concern is, in an era of greater e-commerce, what is the shelf life of the big box stores? I try to imagine in a Niles budget without the large shopping centers, simply because, well, I think we all know this, there's no economic certitude in a global economy. Of course, we should posit some increase in property value and the corresponding rise in property tax based upon supply and demand of residential and commercial property. Accordingly, this administration is focused on growth of our smaller retail venues and growth in residential and commercial property values. We will do everything possible to keep our shopping centers prospering. Recently, we created the TIF district called the Touhy Avenue Arts and Cultural Corridor that encompasses 80 acres primed for repurposing. Anchored by the 1/2 size replica of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, we envision a Rosemont-like entertainment center with the additional cultural element being a Ravinia Park-like concert venue. Possibly we could see a hotel, boutique shops, multifamily residences, restaurants, perhaps a new YMCA, which would make me very happy, and an award-winning park. With our comprehensive land plan, we are moving toward a new user-friendly zoning ordinance, with the object being form-based zoning along our Main Street, Milwaukee Avenue. Milwaukee Avenue is envisioned by our Commission for Economic Development and Neighborhood Renewal and affirmed by the Village Board to become urbanized with greater multimodal opportunities, multi-purposed buildings with unique shops, picturesque landscaping, and new artistic street lighting will become the icing on that cake. In terms of our housing stock, I've asked the Community Development Department to formulate a program to encourage home enlargement and home improvements. Niles has many starter homes. Often families would like to continue living in Niles, but require more space with modern amenities. We would like to offer incentives and ease of construction to effectuate those folks to stay here and continue to live in Niles as their family grows. My point is the only way to meet future financial obligations to grow our sales tax revenue by promoting development at the Touhy Avenue, TIF district, and along Milwaukee Avenue. We need to grow. Also promote Niles brand, making Niles the best place to locate business and the easiest in terms of permitting. Raising property taxes or fees is not a viable option going forward. It just won't work. It's not there. That's the old economic side of my story. So at this point, permit me to talk about the human side of the village of Niles. I want to highlight 4 departments and make mention of others. Our Senior Center, under the leadership of Kelly Mickle, empowers seniors through community engagement, wellness programs, volunteerism, and lifelong learning. In the coming year, the center will offer increased evening and weekend events and programs. The Niles Fitness Center, guided by Carl Maniscalco, is a premier facility, providing quality health and fitness programs. The coming year will bring innovative membership marketing. Third, the Teen Center of Niles, directed by Mark Williams, provides a welcoming, structured, and safe environment for local teens to play games, socialize, receive homework assistance. Going forward, the center's staff will help teens with social and personality disorders. Our Niles Family Services Department, led by Tony Hollenbach, provides a full array of professional social welfare services, from economic counseling to social disorder modification. Most recently, Family Services has provided stress relief techniques to our Niles police officers. I don't know if you know this, but the police are under tremendous pressure. Those 4 departments appear on a referendum this March, and though it's advisory, I highlight these 4 departments because they're integral to our village. And even though they cost about $2.3 million, because there are fees that come in on these departments, even though they cost $2.3 million additional to what the fees are brought in, it is, in my opinion, the best that Niles does and goes outside the normal, because Niles does. I'd like to also mention Bill Shaw of IT. I'd like to mention Scott Newkirk, Finance Director, Chuck Osman, Community Development Director, Kathy Barnett, Human Resources Director, Ross Clicker, Economic Development Coordinator, Haley Gerard, Communications and Multimedia Coordinator, Mary Anderson, Public Works, Steve Borkowski, our Fire Chief, Dennis McInerney, our Police Chief, Hadley Skeffington-Voss, our Assistant Village Manager, Marlene Victorine, our Village Clerk, and also Steve Veneciano, our Village Manager. To them, I salute their efforts. Best team a village could have. Closing for me this year will be about, first, continue to build a sense of community through block parties, the Holly Jolly Fest, that's the Christmas tree lighting that we've started, Bike Niles, the Maria Loretana Fest, that's the carnival and festival that we had at Gulf Mill, the park there, and foster the Arts and Cultural Advisory Council, which will continue to direct public displays of art and other things that will make Niles continuing to be special. Also, continue to rebuild Niles infrastructure and complete the Tier 1 Cleveland Sewer Project. Third, collaborate with Community Development Department and its governing committee, also with the Commission of Economic Development and Neighborhood Renewal, to find and recommend to the Village Board a master developer for the Touhy Arts and Cultural TIF District. Also, create 3 Milwaukee Avenue enterprise zones. Those zones being Milwaukee and Waukegan, Milwaukee and Oakton, and Milwaukee and Dempster. Also, promote performance management methodology, creating budgetary savings. There are savings to be had in our growing budget, and performance management could be providing help with that. Expand collaboration with schools, library, and the Park District to build the Niles brand. We've been doing a lot of that lately, and I can't think of better partners than we have in the schools, the library, and also the Park District. We are really working very well together. And that Arts and Cultural Commission is, many of those folks on those institutions sit upon that commission. Lastly, begin conceptual drawings with the Niles Park District for the Niles Festival Market and Park at 9101 Greenwood. That's where we had the Italian Fest at just south of Gulf Mill. It's the park there that the village bought, and it's basically for flood control, but we envision a festival area where we can have farmers market, we can have antique car shows, we can have any number of things that villages very often do that we heretofore haven't had because we just didn't have the space. So we thought the best and highest use for that property was to do some community, development for the community. That's my speech. Special thanks to the Niles trustees, Joe Laverty, George Upjanis, John Jackett, Donato Donovan Matthias, Dean Strelecki, and Denise McCreary. Did we do questions or anything?
If they have questions, I know, yeah, sure.
You probably all want to go, but if you do have a question, I'm happy to take it. Easy crowd. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I know we ran late. I really appreciate everyone's patience and being here today. Enjoy your dessert and check out our exhibitors on your way out. Thank you.